Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your host, Justin and BJ. We talk about 3-day-old news, sports, and whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, you cry, you hate on our takes, you like our takes. Most of you don't let us know what you're thinking. Some of you do. Thank you for that.
I think they do it in person.
Yeah, they do it in person or they do it
behind our backs.
Ways, but they don't necessarily use the email box, 3dayoldpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. How about this? Let's put a little.
We're doing Nebraska basketball overreaction.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Little call to action for our listeners. Shout us out on your socials at 3-day-old podcast, I think, or hasn't been 3 days. I don't even know what it is.
All. Yeah, hasn't it been 3 days?
Hasn't it been 3 days? On Facebook, Instagram, all the things. Tell us what other podcast you're listening to. What else are you listening to? Let us know.
Good call.
But Justin, how are you?
Doing good. We're big. Just got done 3 minutes ago. It feels like 3 minutes ago. Nebraska just lost the basketball game. Horrible way to fall and slip down. And no, that's not how you lose a game. You lose a game on all the other things. But three lost Nebraska basketball teams going to be out of the top 25. Not even make a tournament now. Is that how that goes?
Weren't they still ranked like 5 or 7?
7. They're 7. No, they're going to fall right out. They're not a blue blood in basketball. They're going to fall right out of the top 25. They're going to be like they're going to have to play in the play-in game.
Wow, there goes the Nebraska doomsday.
No. Well, I could see them not being ranked in the top 10 ever again if they keep this play up, but no, they're playing
the Big Ten,
playing ranked teams.
Yeah, the Big Ten is stacked.
Oh, no, they are. It is stacked. So, other than that, no, it's going good. Nebraska didn't play well tonight, didn't start out well, and played from behind the whole game. So they got their first lead in overtime. Lucky enough to get it to there, but didn't come through. It's a learning experience, right? You need that in the tournament.
There you go.
Maybe. I don't know. But other than that, that's my big red basketball overreaction. How about you?
Well, I don't have an overreaction except for the fact that Nebraska basketball is ranked in the top 10. It's an overreaction. The overreaction came a week or two ago when they were talking about a 1 seed and they've never won a game in the tournament. I don't think that should ever be a thing. I know they're the only Power 5 school that can say they've never won a tournament game, right? But I think it doesn't matter if it's Nebraska or if it was anybody else. If you've never won a tournament game, you should not be ranked in the top of the tournament. You shouldn't.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, it is what it is. Not undefeated anymore after 3 losses. Season's over, BJ. We're gonna go win the crown again.
Well, last week we talked about something that didn't matter, and that was the Super Bowl.
We did 3 days ago.
So let me talk about something that does matter.
Okay, let's hear it.
Before we jump back and review the Super Bowl, let's just get into this real quick. I want you to think about the sport that is upon us that should have everybody's attention.
The Olympics?
No.
Oh. Don't say opening day baseball.
No.
Okay. College baseball? Starts next week? Or starts this week?
Starts this week. Oregon State's out in Arizona playing Michigan.
Yeah.
No, the World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball? You've been there. You've seen it before.
No, I haven't.
Didn't you see that? Oh, what was that one that you saw in Wichita?
Oh, that's the all-night baseball.
Oh, I thought that was like the World Baseball Classic.
No.
Minor League Edition.
Didn't you go with me once?
I think Nate did.
Did he? I can't remember. Somebody. We went
I
down
don't
at like
remember.
midnight. Maybe it was Brady.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I don't think I ever visited in Wichita that we went to a baseball game. I got pulled over in Wichita.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Well,
Stupid police officers on Kellogg just do whatever they want.
yeah.
All right, World Baseball Classic. What do we know about it?
It's incorporating the world
Outside of the Olympics?
outside of the Olympics. And Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals is playing for the USA. And that'll be good. 2 Royals playing for the USA team. So
Is the other one a pitcher?
I just was there. I didn't recognize his name, so I don't know.
It's probably
no.
just
Yes, it was Michael Waka. Waka.
Waka Waka. I hope he doesn't have too many Waka Wakas.
Yeah,
that won't be good to lose to Canada. I
want to give another shout out to all of our people that are listening. We have another connection that's probably going to join us during baseball season, I hope. And I haven't responded to my friend, but we'll get him on and talk some baseball. But I've been listening to Tim and Jeff Kirchgen's podcast. Have you ever heard of theirs podcast?
No, but you should save that for your comment on social media. This is about which podcast you listen to. Shout outs. No? All right, cool. A good joke. Yeah. It was a good joke while it lasted.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, the Kirchgen's podcast. I haven't listened to it.
Greatest game ever or something. I can't remember. I was going to look it up and see what it's called. I just listened to it today.
Good historians of baseball.
Is this a great game or what? That's the name of it. Tim Kirchgen is an incredible historian. And today on their podcast, they mentioned Alex Gordon. And he was on his... Today he does a little this day in baseball history, and Alex Gordon's birthday was on the day they recorded. So they talked about.
Is that the only thing they talked about, or they talked about how good how he got shammed on the Hall of Fame votes?
They didn't talk about his he said he wasn't a Hall of Famer, but he did say, he was the heir apparent to George Brett, and he gave kudos to the Royals fans because when Alex Gordon came into the big leagues as a third baseman, his first at bat as a big leaguer, they gave him a standing ovation before he even I think he struck out in that at bat. I think he struck out looking in 3 pitches, if I'm not mistaken. But you'd have to fact check me on that one. But
trust you.
He talked about Alex Gordon, and it was just a good little thing. He also had a really funny story. It's a good podcast. So if anybody's listening that listens to them and wants to shout out Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast, go ahead, do that as well, and maybe they'll mention us on their podcast. They have way more listeners than we do, I'm sure.
I wonder if they've had a bigger platform over the years.
They haven't been doing it. They've been doing it about as long as we have, but and Jeff works for country music. He's a DJ or a VJ or something, and so they're out there, obviously.
Yeah, they've had a little bit more exposure prior to their podcast.
Yeah,
like everybody else. All these athletes just getting podcasts, like they know what they're doing. It's all good though.
Yep. Well, to review 3-day-old news, as your son told us we needed to do.
He says we're not doing very good on it.
Well, what happened 3 days ago that we could talk about?
The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Lindsey Vonn, the Olympics.
What day? She took a hard crash.
Same day.
Wowzers.
Did you see it?
I saw clips of it. I wasn't watching it live.
No, I went and watched the replay and
clipped that gate and just... But then someone else crashed right after her. And then...
Not too long after, yeah.
And then, was it today, and another U.S. person on that same turn crashed?
Jeez,
Do you think they're putting up the wrong signs to let you know which way to turn? There's got to be a common denominator here, right?
Well, I watched that. I watched it. I watched the replay. So I heard the commentators and the talks, and so that turn coming off because it's the downhill. It's speed.
Yeah.
It's 90 seconds and then you're done. So coming
saying.
off that turn, you had to put. And if have you ever snow skied?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd break myself in half.
So snow skiing,
right through a tree.
Yeah, I grew up in Colorado, and I didn't snow ski till I moved to Illinois. Now, if
Did
those
you
of you
just
listening,
regular ski?
I've water skied.
Oh, that's what you're changing, water ski and snow ski?
Yeah.
So why don't you just call it skiing?
Well, because it's two different things.
Well, it's technically all water.
But you differentiate between ice. Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right.
Okay. So you went skiing in Colorado one time?
No, I never skied in Colorado.
Oh, no, you never skied.
Then I skied in Illinois. And for those of you that are geography majors,
that doesn't work.
Doesn't work. But there's hills in Illinois that they have ski resorts on.
Yeah.
We went and skied in Illinois.
Some of those hills have eyes, though. Scary ones. That's Missouri, too. Anyways, so they were saying about this mountain.
Yeah, so coming off that turn, you had to, because the snow, there was perfect conditions, but the snow was grabbing the skis harder there. So when that happens, I'm going to be really technical for all you skiers out there. I don't have a clue. I'm not very good at it.
Well, this should be really good.
When the snow is grabbing the ski, you have to put more pressure on your ankle and your knee to get that ski to dig in to make the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for her, that was going to be her left knee and ankle that she had no ACL because she busted it 9 days before.
Dude, she came out and said it had nothing to do with that.
I know it didn't. But I'm just saying, watching her get ready and the way she was warming up, and you could see a difference. And I've never torn my ACL. I wanted to ask my buddy Chris, who's been on the podcast. Shout out to Chris. He's busted his ACL. When you don't have an ACL supporting your knee, most people can't even walk, let alone do downhill skiing.
Yeah.
And she went out there, and you're right. She wasn't using that as an excuse. But when I was watching her warm up, there was definitely a difference between her strength in her left knee versus her right knee, obviously.
That's fair.
But when she came off that jump and she hit the gate with her arm, and that's what caused her to kind of fly sideways. But yeah, then she broke her leg.
She's going to have multiple surgeries.
Yeah, it's nasty.
What?
Her career's probably over.
Well, she is pushing 40, isn't she not?
41, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that she's probably done.
Can you hear my dog?
Yeah, the dog's barking. Dog has a lot to say. I think your dog just said, "Oh, why do they call it a gate in skiing? No one goes through it."
Yeah, you do.
You don't go through the gate. You go around it.
There's two gates, and so you go through the gates.
You don't go through the gate.
Yes, you do.
Down the downhill?
Yes.
No, you go around it.
No.
Yes, you do.
There's two of them, and you go through the middle of them, so you're going through the gates.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's pushing it. That's pushing it. Usually there's a fence.
Here's our second call to action for our listeners.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The gate usually has a fence on each side. It's wide open. It's like everybody's just going wherever they want.
No, there are fences on the outside of those gates.
No, there's not. Not till later to keep fans out.
That's where that other girl almost hit the gate, or she almost hit the fence on the outside.
Actually, I think your dog was talking about. Did you see that clip of that dog running down the hill? A dog got loose on the track. I don't know if it's for real or someone did AI. I haven't fact checked it, but a dog got loose on the hill.
No way.
At the Olympics. Yeah.
It's not that high up.
I don't know, dude. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was one of those dogs. What's the Saint Bernard that was bringing alcohol to Lindsey Vaughn? She needed alcohol. She was stuck.
I
I
don't
don't.
know if you only watched the highlights of it. Well, they showed it right after. I mean, you could hear her screaming
I
on the
watched the clip
mountain.
where like the commentators on TV were like, they knew instantly
Oh, it was
that
bad.
there's like,
She didn't move. Like she laid there and didn't move. Like I knew it wasn't like bad, like broken neck wise, but she was screaming. You could hear her screaming. It was
yeah,
bad.
I mean, I think for anybody, obviously. So
Yeah, I mean, when I skied in Illinois, my whole goal was to try to go as fast as I could and fall as hard as I could, and I was very successful. I was very
yeah,
successful, but then I realized I'm getting older, and this is not going to go well if I break my leg. So I had to learn to make the pizza wedge and slow down. You
it's
know
fair.
what's aggravating? You would hate this, by the way. If you
Oh,
went
bless you.
skiing or you went and you see these little 3 and 4 year old little kids out there with snowboarding and skiing like they've been doing it all their life. I'm like, you just want to go and push them over because like how can
Fair.
you be this good and you're just the little guy? Yeah, it's gross.
So I just fact checked that dog. It happened in 2022. This is why I hate the internet.
The internet is not reliable anymore.
No, because AI ruins it all,
Yeah.
and 4-year-olds know how to ski better than us.
Yep.
Whatever. They're probably going down double diamond, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Black diamond? I don't know.
Black diamonds.
Yeah, that's sounds miserable. What about like? Is it the? What do they do? I saw a clip today of a guy running up a hill in skis for, I don't know, is it the biathlon maybe?
Biathlon and then cross country skiing is similar. Yeah.
But he's like did a under 6 minute mile up a hill in
That's
snow.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
think that's what I saw. It would be probably be true. But can you imagine going uphill in skis? No way.
What is your favorite Olympic sport in each Olympics, summer and winter?
Ooh. Mm, figure skating.
Okay.
Um, Actually, it's kind of a cop out, but I like hockey.
Girls or boys?
Since we're on the internet, I'm going to say both.
Okay.
No, I don't watch women's hockey. I mean, I've seen clips of them. They're dominating right now, to be honest with you.
So I watched that the other day too. Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
yeah, they're dominating.
I just
Um,
like the Olympics. The Olympics is a good time because it happens every so often.
like four
There's
years.
there's nostalgia for us because for many of us, we remember as kids growing up how important it was just time to be around the TV with your family and everybody was interested in it. It was cool. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't disagree with that. And a lot of people do watch figure skating. Like that's the number one thing that people watch. It's
so
crazy.
let's have a hot take here then. What I don't like figure skating because it's all based on judging.
Correct.
There's no there's nothing else except the judges telling. I mean, there's talent elements, obviously. I mean, I
Except
couldn't
for,
do that, and so I
except
mean,
for
it's
you can do front flips and back flips now.
in the free version.
Oh yeah.
There's two different
Is that like the beta version?
there's two different kinds of events. So yeah, they
See,
can't.
you know way more than I do. I just
But
thought they just got out there and just ran around for a little bit, and then people were like, "You did good." The
yeah,
nine point
here's my judgment
two.
of you, and I'm from Russia, so throw my score out.
That's just like gymnastics, is it not?
Well, that's where I was going with it. Is like which of these sports like can we call it a sport if it's totally
A
predicated on
judgment
a
call?
judgment?
Well, I mean,
There's a lot of them.
yeah, every event, Olympic or professionally, has judges or referees.
Referees are different. That's to keep the order. But
Oh, True.
Judgment is determining the result. I mean, some would argue that officials determine the result sometimes, but they're not the ones that are basing who gets the most points based on their judgment.
It's true. It's true. Good call.
Even the Kansas City Chiefs can't say that.
No. No, that's true.
But some people would argue. I heard this argument on another show as well, like figure skating, gymnastics, diving, and then you got like some people would argue, like somebody made the argument that like golf shouldn't be considered a sport.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
Yeah.
I will say that the two things that I think a lot of Americans like to watch are gymnastics and figure skating because of the judgment, because they feel like they have an opinion about it because they could be a judge. I mean, right? Isn't that why most Americans probably like it?
Well, I think
they could truly have an opinion about how they thought they did. They're like, oh, they did that double pike. I don't know. That's swimming. Never mind. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I think you're onto something. The reason I think people watch it is because it's something that most of us can't do. And so you watch it because it's like you're mesmerized by something that you can't do. Like we can all do different things, and so we watch other sports because we did them, or we have an interest because we played them, or we know people, or whatever the case may be. But in those sports, it's like, for me anyway, it's like I could never do that. So there's an intrigue because I could never do it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with you on that.
So I interrupted you. You said figure skating and ice hockey, but what about Summer Olympics? What's your favorite Summer Olympic sport?
Oh, I still find myself watching basketball, which I don't think should be a summer sport, but whatever. We can die on that hill. I don't really know the last time I sat in. Isn't golf a Summer Olympic? But I don't watch that either.
Yeah, but it's just recent.
Track and field. I like, track and field's interesting sometimes. Michael Phelps when swimming, like that was intriguing.
So who's your favorite? Favorite Olympian of all time?
Oh, I don't know.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. I don't know. It's a good question.
I know my dad would say the pole vaulter guy, that he likes watching track. I don't know. I think the Michael Phelps saga and the length that he did everything that he did was pretty.
Just how he dominated.
Amazing.
Too.
Yeah.
And just like
Carl Lewis, same thing. Carl Lewis. Do you remember like in those when we were younger, the decathletes like Dan Johnson and
what was that? The Wheaties commercials with Dan Johnson and who was the other guy?
I can't think of the guy's name.
What was his name?
They weren't as bad to each other as Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan.
What was the name of those guys? Track and field.
Are you looking it up?
And they did, yeah. What was it? Dan and somebody. Was it Dan Johnson?
Dan O'Brien.
Dan and what was the other guy's names that they?
I don't know.
Pitted against. It was like Dan versus somebody. What was his name? They did like a Wheaties commercial or other commercials. They were huge. They were so big I remembered them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dan O'Brien.
What?
What initially popped up was famous U.S. decathletes include legends like Jim Thorpe, Bob Mathias, Rafer Johnson, Caitlyn Jenner,
Oh, jeez.
and Dan O'Brien.
Caitlyn Jenner. You mean Bruce?
Just to clear the record, Caitlyn Jenner was not the Olympian. Bruce
No.
Jenner was the
No,
Olympian.
no. You're right. I don't remember. Well, I guess Dan O'Brien is the only person that was on the Wheaties box. I swear they did some
There was
promotion.
a
Dan
competition
versus.
between them.
They
yeah.
did like a. I don't remember. That was when I was 15 years old.
Dan and Dave. Dan and Dave.
Dave who?
Dave Johnson and Dan O'Brien.
There we go. That should be a podcast. Dan and Dave. No, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't get it in as much. I mean, but you're right. Like when we were growing up, you had one, maybe two TVs in the house, and one of them was on Olympics all night. You just had it on.
Yeah, now with streaming, I mean, you can. Yeah, it's kind of nice it's in Italy right now, so you know that there's a time difference, and you can jump on and just watch a replay real quick, or you can kind of catch up pretty quick. It's kind of nice.
Well, and I think NBC really put a lot of money into it the last few Olympics and really expanded their coverage, and TV's just made the Olympics more accessible.
Yeah.
To just be there and watch, like from camera angles to especially the downhill skiing,
the drone camera,
the
on
drone
the
cameras. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Man, I was like getting nauseous watching that sometimes.
But are those guys the real athletes?
The drones?
The drone flyers? The guys who are just flying them? And
no, they're sitting on a couch.
Nah, they're not sitting on a couch.
No,
they're probably sitting in a pretty comfortable chair with armrest. Well, actually, a chair with one armrest is how I envision it.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like
I'm sitting in a chair with no armrest right now.
You better be careful. You're going to fall right out that window. But, yeah. I don't even know when the Olympics end. Is it a 2-week thing? Is it a month?
It's a fortnight.
A fortnight?
No.
It's
a fortnight. Look it up.
Have you ever played Fortnite before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get dominated?
Oh, yeah.
By a 4-year-old? That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I tried it once. Didn't turn out very well.
But yeah, I'm not a good shooter game guy.
Shoot 'em up guy game?
No.
Yeah, me either. Just stick to sports, right?
Yes.
Just like this podcast. Stick to sports.
Well, in other 3-day-old news.
How did you keep track of our prop bets?
Only in my head.
Oh. I think we came under for the national anthem.
We were under on the national anthem. We were wrong on the Gatorade. We were all right on the winner.
I don't remember the other
We
ones.
were wrong on the first commercial. I think everybody and their dog was wrong on that one.
Well, we guessed on the first commercial?
Like what they would be advertising, yeah.
Oh.
That was disturbing. I was like, is this really the first commercial of the Super Bowl? Like,
are you talking
kickoff, the hair.
the talking hair?
Oh my gosh, that was disturbing.
The Manscaped one?
Manscaped one was disturbing, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going to forget about it.
Oh, how can you not throw up every time you think about it?
Yeah, it's a good thing I was making food still, and I missed it. I heard people yelling about it.
What did you have to eat? Did you make your buffalo dip?
I made buffalo chicken dip.
There you go.
It was amazing.
We had wings and fish sticks.
Wings and fish sticks.
Yeah.
Nice. Interesting.
And chips and Oreos. And
my dad made homemade pizza, so he listened to the podcast, and then he made the homemade pizza, so that was good.
Cool. Did your mom make lasagna?
No. She did bring Little Smokies bacon wrap with brown sugar, though. That was good. And we also made hot dogs for the kids. And then they proceeded to not eat them, except for my son. And my nieces were supposed to eat them too, but then they didn't. They ate a frozen pizza or something. I don't really know. It was weird. It's okay, though. They're kids. But, so it takes us into, you know what, one commercial I did kind of like, only because I think it's because of the two guys that are in there, was Matthew McConaughey and the Uber Eats one, where they're talking about like how food,
Food
sports make,
and the
yeah.
sports
I
sells
actually
food.
actually think that was actually pretty good, just because of the two people.
I thought there was some good ones. I thought that one was decent. I'm not a big Matthew McConaughey guy, but
All right, all right, all right. We get it. Jeez.
the Dunkin' Donuts one was good.
You like that one?
Just because of how they got everybody there. I know it was AI probably, but to have that cast, that was pretty
Yeah.
sweet. How
Okay.
do you like them donuts?
How do you like them donuts?
We were on a break. That was good. The other one I thought that was really good, and it was kind of a feel good one, was
Budweiser.
the Budweiser with the eagle.
Eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I saw that. Like they were promoting it. The NFL Network ran, or maybe CBS ran, like a best commercials of the past, and then they like previewed that commercial.
Oh,
So I had kind of saw a preview of it before, and it was pretty good. So
yeah.
the Pepsi one took a stab and took the polar bears away from Coke. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No, I know. I
But
remember that
you're a
one.
Pepsi guy, and I'm a Coke guy, so that's probably why.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what else there was. There's a lot of medical or medicine related ones.
Every time
The
they come on, and then they start reading all of the side effects of them. Don't take if you're allergic. Well, how the heck are you going to know if you're allergic?
And all of them seem to have diarrhea in it,
Yeah,
like explosive diarrhea.
but it's
like,
also
why
or
would you want?
constipation. So, like, if you don't have a normal fiber-filled poop, you got a side effect of this medicine.
Yep. That sounds like I want to take your medicine.
Right. But they have to
So
do that, so I'm glad they do it, but it's still kind of ridiculous what they do. It's like,
it
yeah,
is.
just medicine is crazy.
Well, that's where the money's at. We won't need to go down that
No.
road, but I'm trying to think. The Backstreet Boys appeared in the commercials. That was odd,
Yeah. Yeah.
but some people like that, I guess.
Well, I'll shout out to your sister for shouting us out on socials with her
Oh yeah,
concert and Offspring, and
dude. Yeah, she went to
took
the
that
Offspring. Yeah.
I took that personal and realized, Michael's telling me I'm pretty fly for a white guy, so
Yep. So she, yeah, you are pretty fly. Yeah. So they were playing in all places, Sioux City, Iowa, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. She told me about that, or she texted me and told me that they were going, and she was gonna send me a video if they played that song. So
nice.
but yeah, she's like, it was perfect timing for you guys to have that episode where we were just doing lyrics. Well, you started it, so. But
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah. So yeah, Super Bowl, nothing too exciting. Commercials there. Ate too much food. Other than that, it's still. I saw the ratings for the Super Bowl. It's still rated top 3. I think top 2. But I don't know. It's kind of a snooze fest until the fourth quarter, and then it kind of got away. Did you see Sam Darnold and the running back today were sharing teacups at Disneyland, just floating around, spinning?
No, I didn't see that, and I assume that I still haven't heard who got the MVP.
You didn't?
No,
You didn't stay up to watch all the excitement?
no.
It is the running back for Seahawks,
Well,
Walker.
that's good. He should have. He was deserving.
Well, what about the kicker?
Yeah, that's what I was saying the whole time. I'm like, right now it's the kicker, but then when the running back, the over under on the running back was 75 yards, and he had that in the first half.
It's true.
And I thought, well, if they could have put the ball in the end zone, it's going to be the running back. But if they don't put the ball in the end zone, it's going to be the kicker.
Yeah, well, then he got to the end zone. Then there was a holding penalty.
Oh man, that was such a good run too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, yeah, no. And that was the first game that his dad has ever watched him live because he's always had this, not a fear, he just didn't like being around big crowds. His dad's never watched him play football live.
yeah, he
I think
probably
he
should
did in
have went
high
to some of
school.
those high school games because they would have been cheaper to go to than this
I
one.
think he went to the high school game. I don't think he probably had to pay for this one.
Oh,
Pretty sure his son probably helped out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it dates back to, I don't know if, I know he's never watched him play an NFL game. I don't know about college, but yeah, I guess he hadn't been to a game, and he told his dad, "You got to come to this game," and convinced his dad to come and won the MVP. That's a pretty good story.
yeah,
Then he got to go. Well, it's a good contract year too, so he can get a good contract, pay for that. You know what the other interesting thing is the tax, the jock tax. You've heard of the jock tax before? You've never heard of this?
no.
So each state has like professional athletes when they play in different states, they
Oh,
have to play a jock tax.
yeah.
The jock tax for Sam Darnold was based off of his contract. They say that you have to pay a jock tax for every day that you're in California. So he was there a week, and it's a percentage of your yearly contract. And so he had to pay $71,000 to be the Super Bowl winning quarterback because his bonus that he gets for winning the Super Bowl or for appearing in the Super Bowl is only like $178,000. Didn't even cover his $240,000 plus tax he has to pay just to play in California. And they taxed him for it because they were there a week. That was just the one example of one player, but that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but whatever. Guess more money, more problems, right? You know what to say?
Probably, I guess. I don't know that problem, so.
Me either. But so, anyways, now football's over. What are we gonna do with our lives?
Yeah, I heard somebody talking about this today. There's two different seasons. There's football season and then there's waiting for football season.
And we don't talk about the United Football League. Do you watch any of that?
No.
Oh.
I don't watch the NFL.
Well, that's true. You know, whatever. Well, Olympics it is. That's all you have for the rest of your sports lives.
Yeah.
Well, we have NBA All-Star games coming up, right, though?
Yep.
Next week?
Next week. This weekend is the All-Star weekend, yeah. President's Day weekend.
That's right. All right. Gonna watch that?
I mean, if I
You will with your
can.
boys, right?
Yeah, if I can, I will, yeah. That's probably the best, even though the game it gets kind of stupid because they just don't care. The weekend has got to be the best All-Star weekend as a whole. The game, I still think the MLB All-Star game is the best All-Star game, but the weekend and everything that surrounds All-Star festivities, it's still the NBA. is the
Yeah.
best.
Do you feel like that the NBA, I almost said WNBA, the NBA All-Star game, like got better when they started putting in the whole, like, don't they have like where you win each quarter, you get money or something like that? Like
Yeah.
more of a competition, or did they figure out a way around that to still kind of make it hokey?
Well, I mean, there's just still no defense, but they do care about who wins.
Well, there's
Um,
no defense in regular season games either.
yeah, I saw this reel that said like somebody had talked about if you put LeBron James in the 70s, he would have won 15 championships or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm like, if you put him in the 70s, there's only 10 years in a decade. You can't win 15 championships in 10 years, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
It looks like
But
he got duped on that one.
but I mean, I don't disagree that I mean, you could drop any pro athlete from this generation into the 60s and 70s and they would have dominated because the competition was different.
Well, 100%. 100%.
I've had to kind of, as my boys, they've been basketball fans and we still follow the NBA, and it's really weird because for me, even in my generation, you and I aren't that old, but I mean we're of the Jordan era, and the modern era of the NBA now. I mean, it's hard when you start to rank your Mount Rushmore, you create your starting lineup of all time, and it's really hard for me to swallow to put a guy like Steph Curry in there as one of the best players of all time. But he is. I mean, there's no denying about it. He's the best shooter of all time, and there's and he plays the point guard position, and that's hard for me as a point guard because I want a point guard that's going to be more like the Jason Kidds and the Russell Westbrooks than a guy
And
that's
it's
going to go score 30 to 50 points. What'd you say?
Stockton,
Well,
passing.
that's who I was compared to when I played, but I mean, yeah, I didn't care for Stockton just because I just yeah, I didn't like his attitude, but
That's
yeah.
fair. But he had that mentality of, I mean, you didn't want to play against him
Right. Yeah.
from a point standpoint. But yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We got some time. Why don't you give me your top your starting five of all time?
Oh my
And
gosh.
and you have to put them in a position that they've played. So you can't just have like so I'll
I
correct
can't
you if
just
you
say I can't just say five guys and be like, yeah, they'll just play those positions.
yeah, that's a different conversation. But yeah,
Yeah.
give me your starting backcourt. Your point guard and two guard
My point guard and two guard. Oh jeez. All time?
all time.
Where are we gonna put Magic at?
Well,
Is he a
that
point?
that's what you
Is
have
he
to
a point
decide.
guard? Would you consider him a point guard?
I would, yes.
And see, I started building my team based off of, well, I don't know. I think I had to put Magic there.
Okay.
Well, obviously Jordan.
Okay.
He's gonna play center. He can play whatever he wants. Actually, Jordan's gonna come off the bench.
The hard
Just
part for
kidding.
me is when you
I
get to
know.
the power forward spot. Because if you're going to put Jordan at the 2, do you put Kobe and LeBron at the 3? Or do you put Kobe at 3 and
No.
then you put LeBron at the 4, but then you've just
Why
eliminated
can't
Tim
you put
Duncans and Dirk
Kobe?
Nowitzki's and
Ugh,
Carl Malone's
dang.
and
I would not Carl Malone.
I'm just
He can
I'm
go
just
deliver
saying, I
mail. So
mean,
I know. Oh, jeez.
cuz I think it's a different conversation when you have the top 5 players of all time versus the starting 5 of all time.
Okay, let's back up here real quick. Can Kobe play point?
Well,
Let's
you're
just put guy. I don't know. Dang.
You're entitled to your opinion. So you have Magic and then Jordan and then who's your three?
Mm, I don't know. What are we calling the three? Is it another power forward?
Small forward
Small forward?
or shooting forward, whatever you want to use the S for.
It's funny you say small forward, and they're not really small forward guys.
No,
They're
no.
man, I don't know. It's hard to keep like Kobe off of a
Right.
list.
Right. So even if you put
Jeez.
Kobe at the 2 and then you put Jordan at the 3, because you can't have a starting 5 all time and not have the greatest player of all time in it.
Well, depends on who that. Yeah.
Depends
Yeah.
on who it is.
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah, I got it. I'm just joking. I just
And with that, play the music.
Making you lose your mind.
We're done.
I mean, I think we'll go Magic, Kobe, Jordan. And then we have like Duncan. And then you have Dirk. Dang.
Then you're going to throw LeBron in there at the 4?
No.
How do you not put LeBron in your starting 5 of all time?
Because I don't really like him.
Okay.
I think his antics are entertaining and not in a good way.
Okay.
I don't know.
Who's your center? Who's your greatest center of all time?
Greatest center? Greatest center of all time. Dang it. Bill Russell?
You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong.
Shaq? I don't know. Well, Jordan, because he can play any position, right?
Well, might as well throw Magic or LeBron there.
Well, yeah. Man.
You need to think about this one for a little bit. It messes with you. It messes with you.
Well, it does, but I'm just trying to.
It makes me feel old.
It does, and sometimes we're forgetting about certain players too.
Well, and it's not.
Because then you can go Kareem, you can go Wilt, you just start going down. But so I think that's what happens with us is if like these guys that you didn't see play, like in real life, like in your time, you've only seen clips.
Yeah.
I mean, that plays in your mind too about who you put up there.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even in our generation, we don't remember much of like the Julius Ervings or the.
No, I mean, because you could say, because you could name off those three that we just did, but then you could have Akeem, you could have Shaq, you could have David Robinson.
Wow.
You could, but I think some of those other first three of eras that we weren't around watching them play would probably take it. So, probably we'll go with Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay. Well, you're older than me, so.
Well, not by that much. You're more NBA historian than I am.
Well, that's why. I mean, my opinion has changed over the last couple of years. And I base it off of a little bit about how the game has changed. Because I think somebody like Shaq. This is my argument I get in with the boys. Shaq dominates no matter where you put him in the eras. So to me, Shaq has to be the best center because he's not only going to score 40 a game, he's going to get 10 to 15 boards and he's going to block 6 shots. And I mean,
that's why it's hard to pick from somebody. Like I said Shaq at first, but then I'm like, oh, you had to go back and start looking at. But
if you go too deep, because then you go to Akeem, and Akeem could score. So I think about those guys like Wilt or Kareem that were scorers or rebounders or defenders. I mean, to put Bill Russell as the greatest center of all time is a joke because he didn't score. And he doesn't dominate at every level. I think you put Bill Russell against Shaq, Shaq still dominates. That's
That's
my
true.
that's
No,
my philosophy. I
I
think that's why I have to put Kobe and Jordan in there, and I have to put LeBron over. I have to put LeBron at the 4, and then that eliminates guys like Tim Duncan and Karl Malone and Charles Barkley and these these great fours, Dirk Nowitzki and those kind of guys. But then if you put LeBron at the 3, then you're not having Jordan and Kobe in the lineup, and they could both dominate no matter what era they played in.
yeah. This is
So I
why.
think of like Steph Curry dominates no matter what era he's in.
Except for the
He
3-point era or the era before 3-point line, then he wouldn't know what to do.
well, he would have still scored points, just like
No,
the stat you sent me on
I
Pete
know
Maravich. I
Pete
mean,
Maravich. Yeah,
Pete Maravich is probably one of the most underrated basketball players of
score.
all time.
Yeah, what he would average in college, is that what that
Yeah,
he would average
50
like
something.
50 points a game if they counted 3-pointers back then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's hard. I don't think you could have it's I think that's the fun thing about the NBA, because the NBA era has changed
Yeah,
on the way it's played, that um you could have this debate over and over, and I think it happens all the time actually.
yeah,
Um I think it probably happens. Do you think the NBA is the one sport that has the most conversations about these types of things? Do you think it's because it's limited because you only have 5 spots?
yeah. I think that's part of it. It's supply
Yeah,
and demand. I mean, it's so hard to make the NBA as a roster spot. I mean, it's easy to play.
unless your dad,
I say
unless your
easy,
dad, unless your dad's playing in the NBA, then you just get you on a team.
but I mean, for baseball, there's 30 teams. They all have 4 minor league teams. I mean, it's easier to play pro ball at the baseball
Correct.
level. Football, there's more roster spots. Baseball, football, basketball, there's just not. You only have
Yeah,
2 rounds in the draft. There's only 12 to 15 guys on the team, and it's just harder to get there. You don't have this is what drives me nuts about the NFL when it comes to like the quarterback position, and we talk about these guys that are going to be the next. They had 1 year in college or 1.5 or 2 years in college, and they're like the number 1 draft pick, and they transferred 3 times, and then all of a sudden they're a backup, and they're like nobody's heard of them, and you're like, wait a minute, weren't these guys like superstars in college, and now they're nobody? I mean, to think that like with the Colts this year, and they had all these problems with, why is there not a football player quarterback that was a great college quarterback? I mean, are their egos just too big that they're not going to go sit the bench and be a backup to somebody better than them? I mean, come on.
it's
Maybe
money,
that's
man.
not their goal.
It's ego about the money,
Not everybody can be Chase Daniel.
dude. The run of ex-Missouri quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls and not have a snap in a season is crazy. Blaine Gabbert, Chase Daniels, and Drew Lock all have won Super Bowls, but they've never started a freaking game in the NFL. Is that so? Oh my gosh. Chase Daniels made a ton of money back in the day for being a
Yeah.
backup.
Yep.
So, anyway.
Anyway, we're gonna have to title this one the one we talk about sports, because that's all we've talked about today.
I know. Well, we are at that time of the year, right? Super Bowl just ended. The Olympics stopped. All-Star games coming up for basketball. There's a lot of conversations going on.
Spring training. We haven't even talked about spring training starting.
Dude, they haven't even reported yet.
There's some that are.
Oh. Well, they're not
But
fully reported.
because of the World Baseball Classic, they can report early.
Oh.
But
Yes.
you're right.
Technically, it hasn't started yet. We gotta wait a little bit. We gotta wait till the snow melts.
Well, what do you got going this week?
There's this like Hallmark holiday thing coming up. Something about Valentine's or something. I don't know. Some made up
Valentine's
holiday.
Day.
Some
That's
made
where
up
we practice our multiplication tables. Valentine's Day.
It's never. So that's this weekend, which means I won't do anything because I don't go out on Valentine's Day. I refuse to because you overpay for everything. Steaks and roses. But no, I don't think there's much going on. It's kind of a laid back weekend. In a couple weeks, I'll be in Dallas watching baseball, watching Huskers play. So kind of just taking it easy and before I out of town for a few days.
Cool.
So, what about you?
I don't have plans, so
yeah, you can just go see if you can buy a Valentine's card. Are you gonna buy one of those like kids Valentine's cards to give to Heidi?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, with the little Smarties that say a message on them. Will you be mine? The shot candy.
You be my neighbor.
I choose you. What was your greatest Valentine's memory?
Everyone with my wife.
Oh, that's cute.
I haven't had very many with her, so she's my permanent Valentine.
Oh, that's cute. That's your favorite memory, huh?
She's my favorite Valentine.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, like in elementary school, do you remember?
Yeah. My mom was just talking to me about making a box for one of my brother's kids, and I think making the boxes and
make like the little mailbox things.
Yeah, where you take the shoebox and make I always enjoyed that. That was kind of cool, but yeah.
Dude, and then you had to like bring it to school, and you didn't have the restrictions like you do in school now. It's like, you got to bring one for everybody. And like, well, what if I don't like everybody?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this kid's got a peanut allergy, and this one can't have suckers because all they do is put them in sticks in people's hairs. So I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about all that.
I mean, I remember, like, yeah, I barely remember. It's like, I remember going to the store and getting the Valentine's used to come in this like box, right? Like you'd open the box and then pour them all out, and then you wrote it and then you stuck a piece of candy through the little hole and then you drop it off, right? Or at least I remember that being that way. But yeah, it's not that way. How come Valentine's Day is not like at work? You're just like handing out candy to everybody.
Like trick-or-treating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 holidays that are made possible by marketing.
Valentine's Day and May Day baskets.
Yeah, that's a different episode. We got to talk about that. I don't know if that's I wonder if that's a regional thing. I don't think that's a.
You don't think that's like thing. In every?
I don't know.
Really?
Call to action number 3 for our listeners. Did you participate in May Day baskets?
Yes. You have a few months to let us know.
Yeah.
Think about this one. Yeah. All right. Well, Valentine's Day. Can't wait. We get a heart-shaped pizza. That's one thing we do.
There you go.
We get a heart-shaped pizza from somewhere and we have it as a family. Been doing that with the kids. I think last year we didn't get to do it because I think I was out of town last year for Valentine's Day.
Did you get Valentino's pizza? Is that who does
I think
pizzas?
Valentino's does it. Papa Murphy's does it.
Yuck.
What, Pop Murphy's?
Yeah.
Can't remember who else does it. Probably Little Caesars. I don't really know. Did you see the last little thing? Speaking of pizza, there's news of this guy who kept on breaking into Little Caesars. I don't know where it was at. He was breaking into Little Caesars and making pizzas for himself and selling them and making money. And then they caught him. He was like just breaking in the middle of the night, just making his pizzas, doing it all by himself, and he was selling them. I think he was selling them he was doing deliveries or something. He was making money on the side, just using all their product. But
wow,
boss gets after you for not cleaning up the night before. You're like, no, I do every time. It's like going back to the camera. It's like, why is this guy breaking in, just making pizzas all by himself? If it was Domino's, do you think he was using the online feature where it tells you where your pizza's at on the tracker? It's like, this guy turned the tracker off. It's like, can't know. Anyways. Well, happy Valentine's, everybody. Early. Buy expensive things, and then the next day it'll be cheaper. So, all right, man. Well, have a good one.
You too. I'll echo that. Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy it. Make sure you tell the people you love them. And that's not commercialized. Make sure they know it every day.
Amen.
Well, it's been fun. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for the laughs.
Yeah, all of them.
Thanks for making me pick a bad starting five. You made me do it.
I made you. Next week we'll talk about more than sports. So come back, join us next week. It'll be the one we don't talk all about sports.
Ooh, that's gonna be hard. All right, we'll try. We'll do our best. College best.
Sounds
little
good.
secret. I didn't go to college. All right. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.